Hi everyone, so I'm going to show you guys today how to do a refill with your gel powder technique that I showed you, and that's by using your acrylic clear powder mixed with your Gelish mini foundation, or you can also use your VitaGel. Okay, this will also work really well. Basically you need something that is a little bit thicker in consistency, and this is the perfect product. Initially I did say that you could soak it off and just start the whole process again, but in between the time that I filmed the first one and this one, I tested the product out, and I started out just with my thumbnails, and then I had the patch on this nail, which is actually still on there. The little crack is still there, it's growing out. There's a little dot right there, that's where the crack is. So I've got the VitaGel underneath it, and then I put a layer of this on top, and then some acrylic powder to give it a little bit more strength so it can hold up. So I've been kind of playing around and testing it out, and by far this one works the best, and I'll tell you guys why in just a minute. Okay, some additional items you're going to need is a 100-180 grit file, one of these brushes. Synthetic brushes are usually best because they're easy to sanitize and they really get into the grooves of the nails and the sidewalls. An LED lamp or a UV lamp. I prefer using the LED. I think it cures faster and a lot less lifting, that's for sure. You're also going to need your pH bond, but like I've said, main ingredient in that is just alcohol, isopropyl alcohol. So you can also use the IBD cleanser, which is pretty much the same thing, but I like using this. I find I get a little bit less lifting than normal. I'm also going to use a buffing block and a lint-free wipe, and you might or you might not need this, and I'll tell you why in just a second. So I'm going to start this out by pushing cuticles back, and you can use this, or you can use one of these stainless steel cuticle pushers, anything that will help you push your cuticles back and remove the dead skin cells from around the sidewalls and cuticle area. And this is actually my third refill on the nails, and because I wanted to really give this product a really good try. And you guys know me, if I don't like something, I won't make a video about it. If I do like it and I try it and test it out on myself, then I do like to share with you guys so that it can help all of you achieve and have gorgeous long nails like this. And the idea here is that I do want to grow my nails a little bit longer, and I know that no nail strengthener that I have ever tried will help me achieve that, only because I'm too hard on my nails and they can grow this long, but as soon as I hit them on something they bend and then they just crack right here. And I have a patch on this one which is almost grown out, and so I just said, you know what, forget it, I'm tired of all these little side cracks, so I'm going to just go ahead and do soak off gel on my nails, overlaid. And these are my nails, they're just overlaid with a layer or 2 or 3 of soak off gel, and this is exactly what I used for my nails to achieve this, and it does work. It holds up amazing. You don't have to soak it off. If you don't want to, you can keep doing refills just like you would with acrylic or traditional soak off gel. And actually, one other piece of information is that I did some research and I looked up the ingredients of this product, and Gelish has another gel, soak off gel product called Gel Structure, and the ingredients are exactly the same to a T, except for one ingredient in there which was a little bit different, but that doesn't mean that it's not going to work pretty much the same. I need a magnifying glass because I cannot see. The writing is just uber tiny on this bottle, and I think one of what was the ingredient that was different? Isobonyl methacrylate. One of these was different, a different ingredient, but comparing the two, exactly the same. Now this is why I love the Gelish Foundation, and the reason that they require you to apply very thin layers, that the product is rather thick in consistency, which is exactly pretty much the same as the Gelish soak off structure gel, and I'm going to try to get some of those bottles. I haven't gone to my Pro Beauty shop in quite a while, and it's about half an hour drive away, so I haven't really had a chance to go there and get it. But as soon as I get the structure gel, I will do a comparison and show you guys the difference between the two. But sometimes it's easier to do gel nails with a brush like this, and I'll show you guys how you can utilize it to also create that beautiful C curve and beautiful arch like you see here on my nail. Because this is my third refill, I'm not going to need to use the acrylic powder, but make sure that you use a very high quality acrylic powder if you're going to want to sprinkle that on top of the gel. I'm using this one by Star Nail, but you can use pretty much any other brand, ASP, Easy Flow, NSI, whatever, OPI, whatever acrylic brand that you have. It just has to be a good grade acrylic powder. So I'm not going to use that on my third refill. On my fourth or fifth refill, I will put a layer, I will sprinkle a layer of the acrylic powder on my nail, just because I want it to grow out nice and evenly and strong. But because this is my third refill, I'm going to go ahead just refill it with one coat of the Gelish Mini, because I still have enough strength right here into the nail and into the stress area, so I don't need to add any more acrylic to make it too thick. So I've gone ahead and I've pushed my cuticles back. Now I'm going to go ahead and file my nail, file the sidewalls, the free edge. I don't want to take any length down because I don't want my nail to be shorter. I want to actually grow my nails longer, so I'm not going to bother with that. I might just kind of just clean it up just a little bit, because over time the nails do lose their shape if they're square or round or what have you, so you have to kind of just rebalance the nail. So I'm going to go ahead and file the nail, and I'm going to pay close attention to the cuticle area. So I'm going to even out this space right here onto the nail, as you want to make this nice and even and flat, so that there is no lifting, or when you go like this, that your nail doesn't catch on anything. You want a nice line where you cannot tell that there's anything there. So let me just zoom you guys in so you can see on this nail here. Okay, see how there is, you cannot tell that there's a refill or a line or an edge between the gel and my nail. This is what you want to create when you're doing gel nails. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and file, and I will come right back. So I've gone ahead and filed and buffed my nail, and I've also cleansed it, and I'm going to use my pH bond, and I'm going to apply this only in the area where my natural nail. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead into my Gelish Foundation. I'm going to swirl the brush to get most of the product off, and I'm just going to swipe one side of the brush. I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm going to offload most of my gel onto the center of my nail, and then I'm going to slowly push it up towards the cuticle, being very careful not to touch the sidewalls or get it on the skin. And you want to keep it very thin close to the cuticle here, and this prevents lifting. So you want to keep it extremely thin, especially around the sidewalls right here. Just go nice and slow, take your time, and just bring it out to the free edge. And you always want to cap the free edge. Okay, this will also prevent lifting, and some gels shrink a little more than others. I don't find this one shrinks, but you still need to cap your free edge. It's very important. Another note that I want to give you guys is that many soak-off gels will tend to yellow a little bit over time, That's just kind of the nature of soak-off gels. Some more than others. This one is not too bad actually, but I've only done 3 refills, so it hasn't been on my nails long enough for me to determine whether it really yellows a lot. And I think partially because you're adding acrylic powder, which you know that acrylic also does tend to yellow over time if you leave it on your nails for prolonged periods of time and just keep doing refills. It will tend to yellow a little bit because they're a little bit more porous, so any nail polish or dark color that you're going to put on, it will tend to seep in a little bit more, but it's actually not too bad. I mean, for my 3rd refill, they haven't yellowed that much. Now I'm going to show you guys how to create a if you want to create a little bit more of an arch. I mean, I really don't need it because my filing helped me out a lot. If you file your nail really good, you don't have to create more of an arch, but if you want to, you can go ahead and let me just zoom out a little bit here. And yes, I finally got my new camera, my Panasonic, and I love it because it allows me to zoom in more and give you guys more detail. So I'm going to pick up a bead on the end of my brush, and I'm going to lay it in the center of my nail, and I'm going to pull it out. Okay, I'm just going to wipe a little bit of that excess off, and then I'm going to look at my nail from the side to establish where I want that C-curve to be. And can you see there's already a little bump right here? It's very natural, and you cannot tell the difference where I apply the product, and then just slowly touch the product to put your C-curve in place. You're merely floating this on top of your nail. That's the beauty about gels. You're floating the product on. You're feathering, floating. You're not patting and pushing and pulling like you would with the acrylic. So now what you can do is hold your finger upside down so that the gravity will take the product to the center of the nail. And I'm going to cure this in my LED lamp for 30 seconds to a minute. I would say maybe even do a minute and a half just to be sure. And if you're going to cure this in your UV lamp, I would suggest using either a 36 watt lamp or a 9 watt, but 36 watt lamps usually work better because they have 4 bulbs, so they cure the product a little better. And you would do a 2-minute cure. I think that's what the bottle says for this product. Yeah, so 2-minute cure in the UV lamp, 1 minute and a half cure. One thing I want to mention real quick, so let's say because I forgot to tell you guys this, if you're going to use the acrylic powder, what you're going to do is apply your first thin, extremely thin layer of the foundation gel on your nail, and then go ahead and use your acrylic powder, scoop it up with a nail tip or something, a little spoon, and then spray it on the top of your nail. And then you're going to cure that for 30 seconds to a minute in your LED lamp, and afterwards you're going to apply another layer of the Gelish Foundation to seal in all of that acrylic powder that you sprinkled on, and also seal the nail, and that would be your finishing coat, and then you would be done pretty much. So now that my nail is cured, and I've cured it for about a minute and a half, I'm going to go ahead and cleanse it. And like I said, because this is my 3rd refill, I didn't want to use the acrylic powder this time because I just wanted to fill in the gap right here close to my cuticle, so I didn't really need to apply the acrylic powder, but you can go ahead and do that if you would like to, if you feel you need to. I just don't want to because I don't want my nails to be extremely thick, and then I would have to file them even more when I have to do a refill. So once you get to your 4th refill, so my next refill, I would do 1 layer and 1 sprinkle coat of my acrylic powder, but right now I really didn't need to, and I've gone ahead and refilled all of them off camera. And this is what they look like, guys. Very natural. I love gels. This is the beauty about gels. They look so natural and so clean, and they just make your nails look super gorgeous. And I'm going to grow them out longer. This one has to catch up, and this one too. Actually, this one chipped right before I even applied the gel. As I was filing, there was a little bit of chipping at my free edge. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed this tutorial, and I tried to remember everything that I want to mention when I'm making these videos, but if I don't, you can always click on the down bar below and read any additional information where you guys can get this. I got this one at Sally Beauty Supply. It's a little bit expensive, but if you can find a bigger size, which I'm going to hopefully get from my pro nail shop, which they have a, this one is what size is this? This is only a 9 milliliter bottle, and I know that they have a full size bottle. I think it's a 15 milliliter bottle, so I'm gonna try to get that, and also the gelish structure, and show you guys the difference between the two products and do some more reviews for you. But I think I've shown you guys every which way possible of doing your nails with gels, and now this is it for my video. So thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you all in my next tutorial.